Hello, ladies, and welcome to the Messy Middle Unfiltered, the podcast for women over 40 who are tired but not broken.
I think you know this, but we're two soul sisters living very different lives, different backgrounds, but we're taking the same stage of life.
And of course, we're here to remind you that it's okay to drop the mask, set the boundaries, and just step away from that hustle culture.
So each week we're here, we're going to show up, we're going to share real stories, raw conversations, practical tools to help you find balance, reclaim your energy, and thrive in your most authentic self.
Because, ladies, this is the Messy Middle Unfiltered, so let's get real.
Okay. So first, let's talk real stuff. How was your week, Irene?
It was the week from hell. It was so full. So it was great, but I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I really am. How about you? Just,
Same thing. It's like wild. I feel like
I know.
I should be in a like a Wild West movie, but I just don't have a good butt to show like those tight cowboy jeans.
Well,
Like I hop on a sexy horse. I'm
well,
moving
I don't
like
have
this
the
wild.
boobs, so
Uh, man, this is the
I don't
problem.
know.
I have my dog in the background. So it was a wild week, I think.
It
So
definitely was. Yeah. I don't know if it was the
I
weather that just made it wild and just that change in time always throws me off. I think we should just get rid of it.
I don't know. So I did your tree pose. There were
Very
moments where I
good.
was like sideways trying to brush my teeth. Then I was like,
Did you
oh
fall?
man, I did not, but I was like, I might need a hip replacement after this. But I did do it. I said I promised myself I was going to do it 3 times this week, and I did it. So I'm
I
really
love it.
proud of
I love
myself.
it. That's great.
I also went to the gym 3 times this week, so that was a goal of mine. So I'm
Excellent.
really proud of myself for that. And I feel like I had like a weird amount of energy, yet like I'm mentally beat up, but like I'm like, okay, I could do this. So I started
That's funny that
thinking,
you
and I'm
said
like,
that. Yeah,
what?
because the other day I felt like my eyes were just very tired and I can close them and go to sleep, but my brain was like on fire and it didn't want to stop. So it's like, but wait, I need my eyes to see, to type, to read, to do all that stuff. So I get that exhaustion and that weird dynamic between, you're on fire, you want to continue doing things, but you're exhausted. I don't know. I don't know. So why don't you just start us off today on today's topic?
So I started thinking about things, right? I was like, what
Okay.
would I tell my 30-year-old self? Like, and it's like, do I want to go back to 21? Not really, right? Do I want to go back to 25? Not really. And I'm like, my 30s is pretty good. So how would I start it, right? Like, I'm going to breathe. I'm not late.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm allowed to be on my own time. I'm allowed to be on my own timeline. Like, I I think as women, we set ourselves up to fail. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know how we do that, right? We're all on our own timeline, just like you said. But as women, we're always constantly comparing ourselves.
Hmm.
And social media does not help. And,
Oh,
like I'll see someone, oh, wow, I love how they look. I don't look that way. Oh, their hair is beautiful. I'm not that way. And I know that's very superficial, but even,
hmm.
deep down inside, it's like, why am I comparing myself to them? I have my own self and my own timeline, just like you said.
Right. Like in my
Yeah.
30s, I was like so behind, right? Like I was comparing myself to my career, behind in motherhood, behind in like everything. And I just kept on saying like I wasn't living in the moment. I was so much
Mm-hmm.
thinking like ahead. Like I have to have this amount of money in a savings. Do I have a savings? They have a house. They look like they're like going on vacations. I'm not going on vacations. So
Right.
I feel like we're always trying to fight the fight. And I think it's now in like my later 40s that I'm realizing like, shit, should I be here? Should I be talking about retirement? Like, can I retire? Um, I think it's really important that we like step back and like owning our own shit and just saying it's okay. Like, I love that you just talked about like TikTok and all of these things because I tend to stop scrolling, right? Like I tend to stop like looking at the next person, but now in my head I'm like this is my catch up. This is how I'm seeing all my friends are doing. Might be real,
Mm-hmm.
might not. I'm liking it and I'm moving on and I'm not saying like wow, look at their life. Like I finally stopped saying wow, look at their life.
Oh my God, I love that you said that, and that is a H to the double hockey sticks. Yes, hell to the yes. Because in my 30s, when I was in my 20s, getting ready for my 30s, I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna be married. I'm gonna have 2 kids. I'm gonna have a beautiful house, fully furnished. That walk-in pantry that you see on, the cover of those home magazines." And I did not. I lived in a one-bedroom apartment, right? That was cold because the landlord would not put the heat up, and that's the one thing that I love about having my own house is that I can control my heat. And my Tupperwares were mismatched because my mom just gave me a whole bunch of Tupperwares. She's like, "Here, you want to move out? Here, take what's left over." And I was never good with anything else, and I had this little scrawny plant in by the window because I thought it was supposed to be good luck, and the thing was like wilted and like falling over, and I kept talking to it. I said, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. It's okay, I love you," and it wouldn't grow. It just like kind of like and that's how I felt. I felt wilted away, and so the 30s were hard. And they tell you that, oh, in your 30s you're going to figure it all out and it's all going to come full circle, and guess what? It doesn't. Ladies, if you're in your mid 30s right now and you're listening to us, just accept it. No one has figured it out. Not at 30, not at 40, maybe at 50, but guess what? At 50, your kids are getting ready to go off to college or they're in college and they throw you for another loop. So what you think you know, you actually don't know anything at all.
I love that. So I mean that's
Yeah.
what I really want to talk about. So like let's talk about
Mm-hmm.
like all the shoulds, right? Like they
Yep.
aren't even yours. Like, I mean, I remember my mom saying, you just have to live a better life than I lived. And now, like, what does that mean? Like, so now, did I, did I pass my mom's life? Did I do better than my mom? But like, I don't want to compare myself to my mom. Am I comparing myself to my friend next door? Like, like all these shoulds, are they really
Mm.
necessary? Are they setting us up to fail? Are they like really like are we sprinting for something that we shouldn't be sprinting for? Like I remember like when I had Julia for the first time, I was so excited to be a mom. I had her, but then I went into, oh my God, she's mine. I don't want anybody to touch her. And then I went into, I just can't wait till she walks. I just can't wait for this. I just can't
Mm.
wait for that. But did
Mm.
I really enjoy the moments? So it's like all these shoulds, all these things. Are we sprinting towards the next instead of living in the moment?
Oh, and honestly, Teresa, whose shoulds are we listening to? Who has put these unwritten rules somewhere for everyone to follow? And we're like these blind horses or the goats or the cows that they put like the blinders on, and we're all just kind of following each other along. And no one is stopping to like disrupt everything behind them and say, "Hey, I want to stop here. I want to graze here. I want to kind of look at the pasture. I want to stare at the lake and not continue walking for now." Like you said, you want to stop and enjoy the moment. And like you said, who's even writing these rules? Because whoever it is, I'm going to tell them to stop doing it because I'm going to do life my way.
I love that. I love that.
Yes.
And like
Yes.
for everybody that's listening, like who is in our 40s, like what did the 40s teach you? Like, right? Like for me, like now that this is my last year of my 40s, right? Because I'm going into my
Mm-hmm.
50s. Like, you know, what am I rushing for? Did I arrive? I feel like I arrived. It's like I have 2 healthy kids. I arrived. It's like, what am I proving? Like I'm paying my
Mm-hmm.
bills, sort of. Um, I'm surviving, sort of.
Sort of.
I haven't lost shit this moment.
Okay.
I'm dealing with all these things, but like I have arrived. And I think as women, we forget to say, you know what? I arrived. I'm okay. Um, Learning to enjoy the in-betweens, right? Like, would I love to
Mm-hmm.
be on a yacht with a really nice tight butt and probably a really nice
Sure.
bikini on? Of course I
Uh-huh.
would.
I'm there with
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Of course. Who wouldn't
Mentally, I'm
want?
gonna get there. But like, I feel like we're always pushing for that, like, should have, could have, would have, instead of saying, you know what? I'm so proud of myself. Look how far I've come. Like, I
Right.
could do a tree pose, not fully, but while I'm brushing my teeth, that's freaking impressive.
Absolutely. Last week you couldn't do it. You were ready to fall over and like, break your kneecap or something. And here you are now, a little better. And I think that's what it is. It's like, we're on our own timeline. We arrive when we arrive, and it's never too late to change your
Mhm.
habits. It's not too late to change your mind about things, right? Our thoughts, our beliefs, they're always changing based on new experiences, new information that we learn. And you know me, I'm always about reading books. And
Mhm.
every January, there's a book that I bought a couple of years ago, and it's called Atomic Habits. And in the book, if you look at it, because of my OCDism, and you know this very well, and as will our
I love
lady
it.
audiences, every year that I read it, I use a different pen or a different highlighter. And why do I do that? I do that because I want to see what is resonating with me this time around, right? Because I've had a year of experiences. So this book, Atomic Habits, is all about habits and how to make changes in your life one little step at a time, right? It's like I don't have to change everything overnight. I don't have to do this big overhaul. Like come January, hey, I'm going to change everything. No, it can take you a year to implement some of these habits, right? And like we talked about last week with habit stacking, already people are messaging us and telling us, oh my God, I love the habit stacking. Why do we have to do everything overnight? Why do we have to do it on somebody else's timeline? We arrive and we change when we feel like we have to.
Yeah, I love that. You need to stop rushing. You have
Yes.
to arrive. You have to realize that you're already here. Like, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes.
I need to impress myself. Like, not my
Right.
children, not my husband, not my friends. I need to impress myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's huge. So, like, talk to me a little bit more about your book. Like, give me a couple of tips and tricks. I want to try something new this week.
Okay, so one thing that I absolutely loved right from the get-go, and my family thinks I'm crazy, but guess what? They do it, is to reset the room. So my big thing is before I go to bed at night, I like to have my living room and my sink clean, right? So if we're in the kitchen, if we're in the living room and you use the blankets, just reset it. You didn't find it this way. You didn't find the blankets on the floor. You didn't find the pillows on the floor. So just clean it up and put it away. So when I wake up in the morning, I can come into a nice, beautiful, clean living room. And so that's something that James Clear talks about. It's called reset the room. So that's one thing that I think we can all do. The other thing that I
Love it.
love to do is to drink a glass of water with a couple of drops of lemon essential oil before I have my morning coffee. Well, actually, now I'm drinking tea because our body gets dehydrated at night. And so it's great for our brain, it's great for our metabolism, it's great to detox our body and just get everything moving again. So if you can try those two things this week, and those are like little baby steps, right? I'm not asking you to drink water all day, every day. We're not asking you to clean the whole house, but just concentrate on one room, right? Just reset the room. Before you leave that room, make sure it is the way you found it.
Love that.
I don't know.
I
How
love
many times
that.
have your kids gotten to the living room and left it a mess? Like all the time.
Oh,
Pillows on the floor, blankets all over the place, sneakers in the corner. I trip over them in the morning going to work because, everything is dark in the living room now because of the stupid time change. So,
and it's crazy
I don't know.
because it's like, I'm the first one to like say, you know what, I'm not going to ask them. Let me just do it myself. But like,
No.
I have adults in this house. I have a 14-year-old son. I have a freaking 49-year-old son myself. I have adults here. Like they could reset their room, and I'm too busy running around to try to like take it, but I think that's my weekly thing I'm gonna do this week. I'm gonna have everybody reset their room, reset the night, and then like tomorrow
Mhm.
morning I'm not waking up manic. You know,
Right.
I think it's huge. I love these little things that we're teaching each other
Yeah.
and hopefully others. Like life doesn't come with a deadline. You know,
No.
we're here.
No.
We're it comes with detours, right? Like I
Right.
feel like
Absolutely.
the life I thought I had in my 30s is not the life that I have now in my late 40s. Um,
No.
and sometimes the detours were meant to happen. Their stories a part of us. Some of them are our scars. Like I have a couple of scars. Um, but then there are
Don't
a
we
couple of
all?
our blessings, right?
Right.
And I think
100%.
that's
And
huge.
and I want to talk about something that you mentioned earlier about to stop rushing, that you've arrived, that we're already here. And arriving is, it's a myth, just like you said. There's no finish line. That line keeps moving. Every day that line moves. When we accomplish something, we erase the line, we move it forward, because our life is a journey. And I don't know if you've heard about this, but there is a concept that's called the rushing woman's syndrome.
Ooh,
I don't know
what
if
is
you've heard of
that?
it.
I have,
Yes.
no.
So the big idea here is that it's these consequences that happen to women when we're living this constant urgency, right? This relentless sense of urgency and that never ending to do list. And it wasn't ever a formal medical diagnosis, but over the last couple of years, there has been research done on it. And they're seeing that women's hormones, their cortisol levels, their adrenals, you have constant fatigue, you have, bloating, digestive issues. The list of signs and symptoms goes on and on and on. So in the show notes, I'm going to put like a little checklist for women to look at it. And if you're feeling all these things, you probably are a Russian woman, right? And you're just keep going. You don't stop. You're not stopping in the moment, like we said. And it's time for us to change that trajectory and to change our journey.
That is so true. So, like, my sister on Tuesdays and Thursdays, she drives me to work in the
Hmm.
city. And
Okay.
she texted me today. She was like, "What time can you leave?" And I was like, "I don't think I could leave yet." Um, and then, like, she wrote me a text, and then I thought I mentally wrote her back, but I didn't. And she was outside the office. And she's like, "You don't pay attention to your phone." And I'm like, in my head, I thought I texted her. So
Right.
then I ran
Hmm.
downstairs
Right.
and I went to go like meet her. And she's
Hmm.
like, "You don't ever pay attention because I'm too busy rushing through the
Mm.
day, get home, to do a routine that is the same routine I do every single night.
Did
Walk
I
the
lose you?
dog,
Hmm.
clean the dishes." So I feel like
Absolutely.
we are rushing through life and we're we're forgetting to like live through life. And I think it
Yeah.
goes
How
connected to
about,
like the scrolling, right? All of those things are
yes.
connected.
Mm-hmm. 100%. 100%. And the best moments in our lives are the ones where we actually stop to enjoy things. So when they say stop and smell the flowers, there's a reason for that. And we have to celebrate the small wins. So how about this week, you and I text each other one win at the end of our day?
I love that.
Remember when we used to do that? Remember when we used to text each other in the morning? We said, "Oh, we're going to accomplish all these things." No, we're not going to do that part because that stresses me out. But I think at the end of the day, it'll be good for our brain to say, "Hey, here is a win
I love it.
for
I love
me,"
it. I'll do it.
right? And it could be a small one. It could be you went for a walk, you went to the gym, I drank my water.
Mhm.
Just stopping and really saying to yourself, "Okay, what was a win for me today? What made me stop and be in that moment?"
I love it. I'll do it.
I don't know. I think we're going to do that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, I
And
wanted,
and ladies, if you're listening,
yeah.
yep, and ladies, if you're listening, just Share your wins with us also, right? Celebrate your wins, even if it's the smallest win that you were even able to finish your tea or your coffee while it was still hot, right? How many times have we put it in the microwave and we reheated that coffee? The other day, I reheated my coffee before I stopped drinking coffee, and I opened up the microwave at the end of the day, and guess what was sitting in the microwave?
A
My cup of
coffee.
coffee from the morning. And I had no idea that I didn't even finish it. No idea. Because I was so involved in just trying to get that tick off all those things on my to-do list.
I love it. I mean, that's crazy.
Yes.
It's us, right? We're a little messy. We're in the middle of our
Yeah.
lives, and we're just, we're trying to
Hmm.
make it work. So, I hope everybody something touched them, something triggered them this week.
I
Thank you
hope
for
so too.
listening to us. Leave us a message. We definitely want to hear feedback. We're trying, ladies. We want to share what we're learning. Um, and I think have a great week, right? Until next time.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, you're not behind, ladies. You're right where you're supposed to be, and it's going to get better every time.
Amen to that.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Messy Middle Unfiltered, and we'll see you next week. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.